We're going to make it work. All right, we're going live. All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on when and where you're watching this Facebook Live. This is the voice and the face of Dr. Tolu Vincent, CEO, co-founder of Living Spring Family Medical Center here in the amazing city of Mansfield, Texas, not too far from Dallas for reference, where we help our patients live long and well because we believe the quality of life is just as important as the quantity of life. I'm very excited today. I'm very pumped to be talking about the topic that we are going to talk about today. I'm sure a lot of us could relate to this, and I'm very honored to have with us Dr. Tanielle Brew Smith, who's joining us virtually. Thank you, Doc, for coming here. How are you?
I'm doing so good. I'm just so excited to be here, and I love talking about stress relief. So this is great.
Awesome. And I got my pen and I got my paper. So for those of you who I got an orange one, so for those of you who are not quite ready, go ahead, get your notes. This promises to be a very enlightening session. If you are watching live, please hashtag live. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay. Our topic today is, Doc, what are simple ways I can reduce stress? And so, Doc, could you kindly introduce yourself? Who are you and what do you do?
All right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Tanielle Brew Smith. I wear many hats. So I'm a physician as well. I'm a family medicine and obesity medicine physician. But the role that I really love is the CEO of Brew Wellness Collective, where I coach people who are, professionals who are overwhelmed and burned out to help them to create a work-life alignment.
Okay, Doc. Why do you do what you do? Because you started off, family physician. You're doing that, and you went to medical school, and then you kind of branched into this. What did it for you?
Because I was burnt to a crisp. I was burnt out, okay? Between COVID and life and my own unhelpful limiting beliefs, I really was so burnt out. And I had to go on a journey myself to kind of get back to this happy, bubbly person because she had disappeared for a little bit. So once I learned all the techniques for myself, I was like, everyone needs these things. Everyone needs support because it's not just me burning out. I had so many other physician friends and other professionals who were trying to figure out what they want to do with their career because they just felt like they couldn't continue on the road they were on. So that's what led me to creating my coaching business.
Huh. So from your own personal story, you were able to kind of feed off of that and then venture into something that would not only empower you, but also empower the people you cater to. I see that pattern a lot. So that's good because you can relate. Heck, I can relate. So this is good. My next question to you is this: what does it mean to be stressed? For someone who's watching, who's like, I'm not stressed. This is life. You just got to do the do's and be the bees and stuff. But what would you say as far as the definition? What does it mean to be stressed?
So, stress, in a simple definition, is where you don't have enough resources for the amount of tasks that you're doing. So, a lot of the tasks that we're doing are physical tasks, like I need to clean my room, or I need to wash the dishes, or whatever, take care of the dog. But there's also some mental tasks that's going on too. We have, like, oh my gosh, I have this work issue. I have a meeting coming up and that's stressing me out, or I got to talk to this other person. So, in general, stress is where you have all these things, both physical and mental things that are on your plate, and you whether you feel like you don't or you actually don't have enough resources to take care of those things. And that stress can manifest in so many different ways, whether it's like for me, when I'm stressed, I get nauseous, or I have chest pain, or I just literally am not able to sleep because I'm thinking about all the things that I have to do. Or stress could be where suddenly you're at work and you just kind of like, what have I been doing for the past 20 minutes? Like you can't focus.
Mm,
So stress can manifest in so many different ways in people.
wow. Not having enough resources to take care of all the physically demanding, mentally demanding tasks that are assigned to us. And so interesting. A lot of times, I don't know if you can relate to this, where you're not doing anything physically demanding, but you're dealing with customers, seeing your clients, seeing your patients, and you're like, I didn't run. I didn't. Why do I feel so tired? So this will
Oh,
explain that because the right.
yes, 100%. I used to, before I switched out and now I doctor very differently. But before, when I was burning out. By the end of the day, I literally felt like I had run a race. Of course, I didn't run a race. I was just taking care of patients. But because there was so many, like my brain was going from patient to patient to patient to patient without any kind of space to just decompress. By the end of the day, I physically felt like I was running, even though I was just walking from room to room.
Hmm. Hmm. The mental tasks. We
Yes.
underestimate them. Now, my next question to you is this, Doc. How do we know when we are super stressed? Because what you're talking about is like, well, it sounds like the normal day to day. Work's supposed to be stressful, and this is like across the board, whether it's physician or not. But how do you know when you're super stressed? Like it's time for you to say, you know what, it's you need to seek attention immediately.
Well, first, before we know we're super stressed, we have to know what's normal for us. So, with me and my clients, with my family, I try to always make sure they have what they know is their normal baseline. So, how am I just happy, healthy, whatever? So, for me, I know my normal is I'm usually smiling. I can crack some jokes with people if I'm laughing. That's my normal. If I can
Right.
just if I'm physically leaning back in the chair, that's my kind of relaxed stance. So now what is super stress? Super stress, one, for it can present, like I was saying, in several different ways. One, more physical. Some people suddenly have the chest pain, they have the nausea, they have back pains, their blood pressure is going up, their diabetes gets out of control if it gets to a certain level because your stress, literally, your stress hormones in your body are going up, which leads to this elevated blood pressure and leads to higher blood sugars and diabetes. So that's just more physical.
Hmm.
Other signs that you are super stressed is if you suddenly have no bandwidth for your normal activities. So when I was super stressed, I would come home. My husband literally could say, "Hey, the sky's blue." I'm like, "Why are you saying that? The sky is purple." So if suddenly you go from being this nice, beautiful kind to like there's a behavior change
Hmm.
because you are just overwhelmed with everything else and you cannot take one more thing on your plate. I feel like that's also a super stress level too. And then also, if you feel like your mind is racing, if you are constantly thinking about, oh, I need to do this and this and that and that, and then forgetting stuff, or you walk, I've done this before, walk into the kitchen to get something, but your mind has been racing so much, you actually forgot why you walked into the kitchen to get whatever, or the bedroom to get whatever. Those are some definite signs of being super stressed out.
Now, for someone who's watching, who's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, this sounds like me every day. Why should I care? Isn't this the season I'm supposed to be in, or isn't this just normal life? Isn't this just what comes from just being an adult? Are there consequences to staying stressed? I know you touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to emphasize this because I think it's important that we take stock of our lives and see where we're super stressed and start to make adjustments so that we don't get these consequences.
100% health consequences. So I'm an obesity medicine doctor. A lot of people that 10, 15, 20 pounds that I just cannot get rid of, that's your stress weight. So that is that weight because of that increased cortisol in the body. You're probably not sleeping well, you're not eating the best. That I call that the stress weight. We talked about the high blood pressure, the diabetes, insomnia. What can happen when you're very stressed out? Your immune system isn't working as well. So you can have more illnesses, respiratory illnesses, but your immune system is also important to make sure you don't get different cancers. So just imagine decades and
Mm,
decades of
mm,
chronic stress can lead to different cancers and different autoimmune diseases. So, yes, okay, yeah, we're in our busy season, we're in our season of hustle. Let it be a season. Of course, during medical school residency, that was a season of being busy. But when is that season over?
mm.
How is the season of stress your whole life? Because if that's so, then we need some other techniques. Because I don't think everyone's life should be just a season of stress. There should be some relaxation in there somewhere.
Mm, mm. All right. So we got the point. We see that, you know what, this is something that needs to be addressed. This is something not to take lightly. what are tips, and doc, as many as you can give? How do I reduce stress simply?
Yes. So for me, I always incorporate stress relieving activities or just things that bring me joy into my life every single day. Actually, right before I came here, I got my nails done, which
I
I'm
like the
obsessed
blue.
with.
I remember. I like the blue.
So just me thinking about my nails makes me have it. It brought a smile to my face. So that is my everyday reminder. Oh, I did something cool for myself. And I also schedule stress relieving activities. For me, again, physical activity is a big part of that. Whether it's walking, going to Zumba, I like to dance, doing weight training, stretching with yoga. So, finding a lot of times, if we put it in our schedule, we
Hmm.
will do it. So, if we have scheduled those stress relieving activities, it is a higher likelihood we'll do it versus saying, oh, yeah, I'll do it kind of when I feel like it. So, schedule it. But then also, if someone who is chronically stressed, meaning they have just been working, 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 have not taken any time for themselves, start small. Start small by just making, whether it's a 10 or 15-minute time that's just yours. And you fill that up with whatever you want, whether it's journaling, whether it's having a dance party in your house, whether it's just sitting in a quiet room and not talking to people, whatever that is for you, dedicating a small amount of time just for that. And even if it starts out with 10 minutes, 5 minutes, as you continue to do that, because you like it, it will feel good. You're going to find other little 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 20 minutes at the end of the day. And before you know it, you've had these little pockets of just you time.
Mm,
You
mm,
reconnecting back to you that'll help to kind of just calm you down. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to Jamaica, I'm about to go on this big trip. No, what is it that you like to do? And I've done this myself and have my clients write a list. I call it a joy list. So,
mm,
what are like 10 simple things that you just like? For me, nails, music. I literally have songs on that list that when I'm having a not so great day, I can pop that song in and then I become Whitney Houston and I can start singing. Okay. Singing.
mm.
It's walking my little doggy. As soon as we're done talking, I'm gonna go walk that little dog because it he makes me so happy. Hugging my husband, just having a cuddle. We don't have to have. I don't need to recount this day. I need a hug. So having those simple things on your list that you can do, even with plants. I keep plants and things around me all the time because just taking care of that little plant and seeing it grow and something about that does it for me. And it doesn't take a lot for me to do. They're all succulents. It doesn't take much. I got to water it once a week. It's great. So it's having those little things, little pockets of joy throughout your day that can start with a de-stressing. But big picture is knowing how your body is reacting in different environments. For me, with my previous job, as soon as I even thought about going to work, my heart started racing. So
Yeah.
I knew that I had to make a big change in that environment. That joy list could only do so much. So if you see there's a big stress trigger, it's time to put some attention in there. Do you need boundaries? Do you
Mm.
need to decrease the time in that space? Do you need to have a conversation with someone to share the workload? Like what, or do you need to leave that space altogether? So it's really seeing, okay, what are some little ways to increase joy and de-stress throughout the day? But then taking a look at the big stressors that are happening and seeing where you can make, even if it starts small, little adjustments to make that environment more conducive to what you need.
Mm. I like you highlighted a lot of things, including one, writing them down. Sometimes people feel it's an abstract activity. You know, I have to have a lot of money to do it. I have to carve out this big amount of chunk of time that I don't have to go de-stress. But I like that you emphasize that you could just have, sit and write it down. I'll share this with you. The self-care, there's a big self-care movement that's been on now for a couple of years, and it's very, very important. And I used to feel at some point like, you know what, maybe this is not the season for self care. I'm not sure if I'm the type that needs self care or can actually allow for self care. But then I took an inventory and I wrote down, you know what are the things I actually enjoy that are low budget or no budget? And I wrote down the things and I realized, oh my goodness, I've been practicing all this time. I just didn't admit that this is what it was. Meditating, my praying, my practicing piano and singing off key sometimes by myself early in the morning. Those are things that I do. And then, so I want to encourage everyone who's watching this, don't tune off and see that, like, good for them, they're able to do this. But it's really important in the now that you have these strategies as you work towards a bigger, like you said, maybe taking yourself away from a stressful environment. What are things you could inject into your day that feed your joy? Now, I have a question to piggyback to that. I have someone who's watching who's like, I don't have time to go do my nails. I have to be at work. What are tips? Excuse me. At work. I'm at work. Like, I am at work. Yes, I have to have a tough conversation. Yes, but what are things I could do by myself to de-stress, Doc? What would you say?
One, breathe. Taking some deep breaths. I do this usually before I walk into a patient's room. I take a deep breath and then let it go, because our breath just connects everything. When we are intentionally taking these deep, long breaths, that can start the process of just calming everything down. And then finding ways to just get grounded in your space. A lot of times we're stressed at work because we got 50 things going on. We got five patients, hopefully not five patients waiting, prior off, and this and that and that. Set a timer. I got 1 minute. Start just looking around. I just did it just now. Looking around your office and describing some random thing in the office to kind of just bring you back into the space. If you don't want to do that, just feel your feet on the ground and just like, how do my feet feel right now? How does my legs feel in the chair? It's really trying to connect you back into yourself, back into your body. I'm also a yoga teacher. So it kind of goes with my kind of yoga. So really getting back grounded into you, because there's so many things that are happening at work that need our attention. But I think when we're super stressed, if we just take a moment to bring it back in, to internally see what needs attention right now in me, then, and I give myself that, then I can go out and do everything for the world. And this doesn't have to be 20, 30, literally taking 30 seconds. It took me 2 seconds to feel my feet on the ground. It took me 1 second to feel, okay, I'm sitting in the chair comfortably. Sometimes I just check in myself, what do I need now? I ask myself that all the time. A lot of times when we're working and busy, we neglect our physical needs. So am I thirsty? Get you some water. Do I need to go to the bathroom real quick? Go to the bathroom. So taking just a second to check in, is there something that I need right now? Is there any little thing that can make this process or this day or this moment just a little bit better? Maybe I need to read some motivational thing. Right behind me, there's a sign. I think it says, you got this. It's just a little reminder when I get stressed or I don't know what to think about. I got this. So it's just checking in with those little cute reminders around you that you got this, that you're made for this, that you're safe, that you're well, and that you'll handle everything that comes in front of you.
I love it. I like to and that's why for me very important to have windows in the office. I just stare outside. Just call it my rooftop view, even though I'm just staring at cars. But I like it. I like it. And sometimes a stretch also. But
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with doing things that make you feel better, to make your day easier.
Yes.
Easier. Maybe not necessarily easy, but easier. And those things help diminish stress. We have to think about them. We have to be intentional about them. And so I hope those who are watching are encouraged to make this a priority, because our living long and well also depends on these things. Okay. So that being said, Doc, any last minute tips for any of our viewers? Someone who's watching who's like, I feel like this is something else to do. Like, I don't think this is possible for me, or I don't think this applies to me, or you don't know what it's like to be in my shoes. What would you say to that person to encourage them?
So I tell people that a lot of us were raised to just keep doing, 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 doing. I was definitely raised like that. So I think it's actually, we were all made to be rewarded. We were all made to have time to just nourish ourselves, to check in with ourselves, to care for ourselves. We do it in different ways at different levels, but we can all take just a simple moment to take care of ourselves. Because at the end of the day, yes, we can have people supporting us, but the person who's responsible for caring for you is you. And if you want to, for most of the people who I, take care of and do things for, they are caregivers for others, whether they're a doctor, a teacher, a mother, a father. They want to give all this energy to other people. Well, if that is what you want to do, if you want to do it long term, you have to take care of yourself. You have to, and it's not selfish. It's literally so you can sustain and do the things you want to do. If not, I mean, you maybe can do it long term, but sometimes you might get sick or whatever. So it's just so important for people to remember while they're doing all the amazing, beautiful, wonderful things for everyone else, that they are also important. That person who's giving the care is also important. And we really need to just take that time, take a moment to say, what do I need? Answer that question first before we give our energy to everyone else.
Beautiful. You highlighted something very important. You said to increase capacity building, actually, to increase your capacity to actually help a lot more people, it is really important that you practice self-stress management techniques and you practice self-care. I also highlight this, that I see this in the as a pattern very often is, the unspoken expectation. I think everybody wants to be cared for. You just sometimes don't want to have to ask for it. But I
Mm.
beg to encourage everyone who's watching. Sometimes you got to ask for it. Yes, for people who love you, like things like, could I get a hug? Go ahead and
Mm.
ask. That's just your thing. Go ahead and get that hug. Can I have a few minutes to read by myself? Let's be a little bit more vocal and asking for the things. And I know that those who love us will say, "Oh, okay, that's what you want. That works. That's okay." I think there's an unspoken expectation for people to just figure it out, and finding that, just ask for what you need and you'll be surprised. It helps with stress management a whole lot.
Can I add one last thing? So
Please.
I do this with my husband. We check in with each other once a week. I mean, we talk all the time, but we have like a formal check in. And
Mhm.
one of our questions is, what do you need more of this week? And sometimes what do I need more of? I need you to say nice, like complimentary things about me this week. I just
Mhm.
need you to just all the words of affirmation. I tell him I need it this week. Sometimes I think it was
I
last
like
week I said I just need some hugs. I need some extra hugs that I don't have to ask for. I need to tell you now. I just want some extra hugs and loving this week, physical touch. So it is like literally I'm scheduling this time to check in with myself and the relationship and my needs,
like
and
that.
then also communicating that with whomever is supporting you.
I like that. I'm going to copy that. That is really good. Ask for what you need. Life is too
Mhm.
beautiful and too precious to waste having them guess. Go
Yeah,
ahead and tell
exactly.
them.
They're
I,
gonna get it wrong.
tell them. Oh, wait, it's fine. You should not tell them. It's really, really good. Thank you so much, Doc. So I have people who are watching who are like, I like this doc. She's a yogi. She's a lot of things. She's a coach. She's a family physician. Where can people find you, Doc? How can people connect with you?
So please come to my website, Brew Wellness Collective. So BREW wellnesscollective.com is my website. My name on all the social media platforms is Brew Wellness Collective, BREW Wellness Collective. I love my Instagram. That's where I land the most, but I'm also on Facebook, TikTok. That's my new thing, a little tickety talk. YouTube. I think that's it.
You are all over the globe, and I'm putting all of that. I put the website down as well. So Instagram. I love how you. It's so simple. Your Brew Wellness Collective.
Hmm.
Beautiful. So you all got it. She also has it's a newsletter, a mailing list,
Yes, I
a
have a
mailing
mailing
list.
list.
Okay.
Yes, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Please sign up for my mailing list. I'm so excited. I'm going to be sending out a lot of different meditations, a lot of different offerings, and my mailing list gets it first. So definitely sign up. Go to my website and sign up for the mailing list. Thank you for that.
Awesome, no problem. So I put that information too, as well as the website and where people can connect with you on the comments. So guys, you can tag your friends. You could forward this video to them so they can watch it. And please share this with someone who could use this encouragement in helping them live long and well with simple, easy ways to reduce stress. Thank you again for coming, Doc. I really appreciate you. This was good. We're going to do this again in a couple months.
Yes.
All right, awesome. All right, everyone, thank you for watching. Big shout out to those who watch live and in replay. And as always, if you or anyone you know is looking for an awesome, a thorough, and a passionate family physician in the Mansfield, Texas area who will help you live long and well, I am she. Have a good one, everyone. Bye, Doc.
Bye.